Well, this is a bit different. You just saw it gently glide out of the garage and back in again, or garage for the English people. So you might remember the blue truck I had. I saw this and something spoke to me. Always wanted a muscle car. So I've had a few people, and I've mentioned on social media if they wanted to see a project build of sorts. So we're going to give this a shot. I'm going to give you a quick walk around the car so you can see exactly where we're starting. There's quite a lot to do. As much as it doesn't look too bad in video, there's quite a lot to go. So I'm going to grab the camera and walk you around. So what we have is a 1970 Dodge Dart that back at some point in the 80s, early 80s, it was converted into a drag car. And locally it's gone to a lot of different circuits, and it's been around for a very long time. Just to give you an idea, underneath that shows up on camera, it's running 325 5015s on the back, which you can see are kind of chunky, and skinny little tyres on the front. So this car did have an MVI in 2010. I'm not exactly sure how, but it hasn't seen the road in a long time. But the drag conversion was done very well underneath. It's all cross braced. It's got axle stubs. It's got line lock. So yeah, but it's like the back seat looks awesome until you get up close. If you can see that on camera. Again, yeah, you can probably hear it as well. All this vinyl's gone. I've got seats from what most people seem to think are from a Chev. And then yeah, this is the dash. Transmission, kind of unsure what's been done to it, apart from the fact that it's definitely got line lock. And it's not too brutal to change gear. She moves around on idle pretty good. But yeah, the interior is just, it's kind of out there. So piece by piece, we're going to rebuild it. I'm not going to go too crazy because the main bones of the car are good, which is why I got it. It's just stuff like the skinny wheels. If you look underneath, we have pretty big spacers under there. I don't really want to be running spacers on the street if I can help it. The motor is probably one of the most interesting parts of this. As scary as this sounds, it was actually a 340 car. I'm assuming someone had an issue with it and got rid of that, which is a shame because it would be worth a lot of money today in factory condition, but it's not, so what can we do? So yeah, there's all sorts of stuff. I'm not sure you can see it on camera, but it's got Hedman headers, it's got a high-rise Edelbrock. No choke currently, which is fun. No wiper motor, no blower motor. It's kind of one of those things that goes on and on. The electric fan definitely, I mean it works, but it's zip tied in at the top and it's got a chunk out to accommodate that pulley. The fenders are fiberglass, which generally are a bit of a pain. You can see in that light there, yeah, just there. We have a bit of an issue going on there, but we can adjust that. Also, the top of these fenders, the line isn't quite right, so we'll be addressing that. But the doors are good, the rear quarters are good. For those of you that know your darts, you'll know that this line here is not factory. That was to accommodate these rather chunky wheels. But underneath a little bit of Bondo, it's not too bad at all. It's got the typical stuff going on in the corners of the back window, more so on this side. So I have a window man, I'm waiting to come down, and we are going to take these out. It doesn't look like it needs it. I just want to be sure. Believe it or not, this car was actually painted at a Chevy dealer, shockingly, but yeah, so this car started life dark green. I'll open the tailgate and you'll be able to see the original colour. You have to see the very old fuel cell that's leaking quite badly. I'm not sure if that's going to come up on camera. Let me open the garage door, you might be able to see what's going on. You can watch Jack go up. And up he goes. Right, there we go. A bit more light on the situation now. So yeah, there is our factory colour. These tailgates are kind of well known for going. It's not perfect, but it's not terrible. It's something we can bring back. So there's our fuel cell. Pretty can't see it down there, but it's leaking quite badly. So I've got a fuel tank on the way for it and a sender unit because we've got no gas gauge. Been there, done that, got the postcard. Don't want to do it again. So yeah, that about covers it. As far as the plans for the car go, I need to adjust the exhaust because the exhaust in Nova Scotia needs to exit the body. I'll take a quick peek underneath. You'll see it's not doing that right now. And if you look really close, you'll see it's held up with the two mufflers are held up with wire. So that needs to change. And they also need to change anyway because I've got no e-brake. Thankfully, I've got the lever, which is down there, if you can see it. So we've got the lever, I just don't have the cable. So that'll be on the list as well. But yeah, the car started life as green, then it was metallic blue, which you can see, just so we can keep track of this because it's all going to be covered up in a few months, hopefully. So there's the blue. The camera will make it out. There you go. So it's actually registered as black at the moment. Go figure. And as much as I like the orange, I think it's really cool. There's a lot of 70s, 60s and 70s Dodges out there that are Hemi orange. And it doesn't have a Hemi. And I kind of like to paint. So what we're going to do is she is going to go a very, very high gloss black, which anyone who does bodywork knows that's probably about the worst colour you can pick. She has a small hood scoop as well. Completely functional. It does actually help. But yeah, so it's going to go black. And with my airbrushing history, hobby, like, whatever you want to call it, pretty set on the fact I want to do realistic fire coming straight off the front. So yeah, we'll see how we go. First off, I need to finish off this project. There'll be another video on that, but I'm going to start a playlist just dedicated to this car. But yeah, by all means follow along. Just for reference, here is the worst of the rust. I've already put 3 coats of rust treatment on it, and I just spoke to a guy that I know fairly well, and he's told me to get a product called Rust Malt. Not overly cheap, unfortunately, but kind of is what it is. As far as this goes, we're going to get the glass out and see how bad this is. The story goes is there's a dent here. It doesn't look too bad underneath. We're also missing a bit of a slat there. So I need that back. So I may end up getting an entire panel for this, which will be fun. I'll have to get someone in to weld that because it'll need cutting here somewhere. I think that about covers it. But yeah, maybe you even recognise this car. It was a drag car all over the Maritimes in Canada for what I can tell, from about 1980 to somewhere up around 2010. But yeah, it's going to be a fun project. Love it or hate it, I'm going to remove all of the chrome and it's all going to be gloss black. But yeah, the only thing I can't keep, unfortunately, is the front wheels, and that's because I don't want to run spacers, and If I don't run the spacers, those wheels are going to be in about 3 inches and look really odd. So I've got some 7-inch wide drag type wheels coming. They're actually on the back of another drag car, which I think I can make work on this. And we'll run something like a 205 or a 225 on the front. Yeah, so that about covers it. But yeah, if you want to follow along, that would be awesome, because it's going to take quite a lot of filming to do this, and there's going to be a lot of dust that we're going to eat, but such is life. Just for reference, that we even have the original fuel filler, and as you may have seen in the trunk, we still have the pipe there, or the hose, depending on what you want to call it. You watch me not be able to get it back on now. There we go. So yeah, a lot of it's there. On the plus side, the rear window is definitely there. I kind of like that curved window. It's going to be a pain in the backside, I'm sure, but it's there, and it's probably the best piece of glass on the car. So yeah, by all means follow along. I'll probably do, I'm going to say probably an update a week, and we'll just keep it short and sweet from my point of view, rather than me showing you undoing each individual bolt. We'll just do it piece by piece. But yeah, we'll see you on the next one, and speak to you soon.